So in the previous tutorial, we added this feature where we can manipulate the movement type of the controlled NPC character by using this specific behavior tree task. So now let's add another feature called set focus, where we can tell the NPC character to which target actor it should be focused on, right? For example, like currently the NPC character is not being aware of the player character, so he's like sort of focusing on its own target location, and it's going to be moved like that. But for example, let's say if this character was to shoot this specific player character, then before shooting, this NPC should focus to this player, right? Or it can be any other enemy, something like that. So let's add that feature now. Okay, so as usual, I'm going to create a new behavior tree task and select the parent class type as blueprint base, and then I'll call it as set focus, right? So then what we can do, as usual, let's get the receive execute AI, and I'll maybe I'll promote these two variables. So on the controller is one variable, control pawn is another variable. Right, and then I need to determine what is the focused actor, right? So do that, let's create a blackboard key selector variable called focused actor, and this should be the type of blackboard key selector, instant editable, and I'm going to get the blackboard value as an actor, something like this, and I'll promote this to a variable called focused actor, maybe L underscore, so other way around. Right, and then I can check whether this one is a valid actor reference. So let's say if this one is not a valid actor reference, then I have nothing to consider. I'll simply finish execute by telling it is unsuccessful execution. But let's say if this one is valid, then I can set the owner controls focus towards that specific focused actor. Right, and then I can simply return the finish execution as a successful execution. Right, and then if you go to the behavior tree, and maybe I'll remove this pin for now, and I'll add a new sequence, and let's add that BTT set focus, right? So I just want to test this feature first, then we can consider this stuff, right? So here now we should have a way to actually select whatever the focus actor that we need to be focused on. Therefore I'll create a new Blackboard key as an object, right? It should be, maybe I'll call it as target actor, right? And the key type should be an actor. Okay. Then I'll go to the behavior tree and I can select this task and select this target actor, right? Now we should have a way to actually set this target actor, right? Because for now it's just a null reference, right? So the target actor is simply null and the focus won't work yet. So we should be able to manipulate this variable, and I think we can go to our AI controller and at the event process let's get the backbone and let's set value as object and the key name is this one. So make sure it is exact same. That's why I'm actually copying the text here. And what should be the object value? Maybe let's get the player pawn or player character, then plug it to here, right? Now this target actor will be by default the player character and it will be read that here and it will set the focus by using this specific behavior task, right? Now let's check that one. So I'll open the tabs like this side by side. Okay, I think the focus is working, but let's debug it and see. Maybe I'll add a print string here to check the focus actor. Oh, it seems the focus actor is not setting properly. Why is that? Maybe at the AI controller let's print and see this player character is printing. No. So let's get the player pawn instead. That one won't execute either. Right. So I think it happens sort of like a race condition that we have. So if I add sort of a delay here, maybe like 0.5 seconds, and let's do it again. Now you can see actually it's printing the player base reference. Let's check the player character reference. Okay, it's working. Right. So it seems like sort of a race condition. Like, so whenever the NPC is going to be instantiated, the character is not as being instantiated at the level, so that this reference is dead. That's the issue. So I'm just adding this delay just for testing. Later on, actually, we are not going to add these sort of delays and consider specific target values, right? So this is just for testing. Right. So I can get rid of this one now, and this one as well. Let's play it again. Okay, still it's printing because at the set focus function, this specific task is keep executing. So this one is getting printed, but that's fine. So yeah, so the focusing is actually working, but the character is not rotate into the target actor yet, right? So ideally this character should rotate towards me, right? So maybe I can debug it and see. No, yeah, I think maybe we have to further improve this set focus function or the behavior tree task. Right, so I'll comment this one called is valid focused actor. So it's my practice to actually put these sort of a pin for each comment section, so that like later on, let's say if we need to change the position of this specific functionality, we can simply plug these pins and connect it there, right? So that's why actually as a practice I'm adding this sort of a reroute node at here, right? And this one is actually setting the focus, but this is just a reference. Right, then we can actually rotate character towards this specific actor. Do that, make some space here, and let's get the controlled pawn locomotion system. And maybe I'll promote this to variable at here. Call it as locomotion system. And then let's get this reference and set the rotation mode as strafing. And then we can rotate the control pawn. So let's set actor rotation, and I need to determine what's the lookout rotation of this NPC. So let's get the control pawn actor location and the focus actors actor location, and let's find the lookout rotation like that. Then I can plug it to here. Now I'll come in this one as rotate pawn towards the focused actor. The pawn is basically the NPC, whoever the character which this specific behavior tree has been implemented. Right, now I think it should work, so let's check. Yep, now you can see actually our character is rotating, and you can see the turn in place is working properly as well. So it's not sliding through the ground. Instead, the character is actually rotating properly. And additionally, you can see the character is sort of trying to rotate towards the z-axis as well, but I don't think it's quite accurate, right? You can see that when I'm moving towards vertically, like jump, this focus is working, but the character is sort of trying to rotate or trying to roll that specific direction, which I don't need actually. It's happened because we are plugging the entire rotation stuff at here, right? So instead I'll make a rotate explicitly, and break this one as well. I think yaw we need, right? So let's test. You can see the yaw is applied properly, and let's jump. Right now you can see actually it's not sort of rotating at the or rolling at the vertical axis. And there's a nice thing, if you notice, the aim offsets are working properly, right? So you can see like whenever I move up, the NPC is actually moving its upper body towards me, right? Because that focus should be there properly. And let's say if I crouch and move, so you can see the actor is actually pointing towards me, like pointing towards to the ground actually, right? Let's see if I'm jog, then the focus is much linear, right? So this should be much more visible if I add some sort of a ramp. So maybe I'll add a basic cube here, and I'll scale it a bit, rotate, something like this. Now look at how the NPC interact when I move towards this ramp. Maybe I need to further increase its size. Right, ideally this should work. Now look at what the NPC does when I going up in this ramp. So you can see that NPC is looking up, right? And if I go to this sort of location, it's much more linear. If I go further down, the aim offset is going down as well. Okay, right, so I think that's what I wanted to cover. But as you can see, it's simply focusing now, it's not trying to move, right? So let's remove this sequence and plug it to here like before, and then I'll let this set focus here, right? So the character will focus to me first, then wait 3 or 4 seconds, something like that, then finds a random location and random movement type and move to a random location, but it will keep focusing towards me, right? Ideally, right? So let's check. Okay, it's focusing, it's moving towards a random location but still focusing. Okay, seems working properly. And let's see if I disable the focus by unplug this pin, and let's see. Now you can see actually it's not focusing towards me. Okay, if I enable it back, you can see the turn in place, aim moves, all the stuffs are working, plus even moving, the character is keep focusing towards me. Right. Okay, so those are the stuff that I wanted to cover in this episode. I'll see you in the next one. See you there. Thank you.